Hello, my name is Lakin, and
I'm Walter.
And this is Two Peas in a Book podcast, book club, whatever you want to consider it. And in today's episode, we are talking about the selection series. Yes, all 5 books from Kiera Cass, and it's a lot. We talk a lot.
It's a lot.
But we talk about
the good stuff and the bad stuff and the stupid people and the not stupid people.
Yep, that's what we talk about.
Really, that's all it is.
Yeah, stick around. Try to sit through all of this.
There's a lot.
But, yeah, it's The Bachelor, but with royalty.
And Hunger Games.
It's not Hunger Games.
There's so many parallels.
Oh my goodness. So, thank you so much for clicking on this video or clicking on this podcast, whichever version you're watching or listening to. I appreciate it, and gonna keep this short because the rest of it is not.
Yeah.
So, let's go ahead and get started. Before we get into the actual books we're talking about, what are you currently reading?
So much stuff. I couldn't even tell you like the names or authors of stuff besides Dave Ramsey. So I've just been listening to a lot of financial books, investing books, stuff like that, and every single one of them is like 6 hours long or 3 hours. It's like between 3 and 6 hours long, which when you're listening to it at double speed means that the longest book I'm listening to is 3 hours. So I'm listening to like 3 books a day.
Goodness.
Yeah, I know. It's really fast. And they all generally say the same stuff. Anyways, Dave Ramsey is the one I can think of right now. And, like, Robert Kiyosaki, he's pretty cool. Stuff like that. Yeah, that's really, besides the books that we're talking about right now, that's what I've been reading.
Well, good thing I'm making you read these. So you can actually read something fun.
I think they're fun. They're interesting.
Are you keeping up with them on Goodreads?
I do them in dumps. Yesterday I dumped in like 27 books that I hadn't. I mean, that was like 3 weeks of just all short books.
Good.
Yeah.
I would forget books if I did that.
Oh yeah. When I was scrolling through, like, especially with all of them saying generally the same stuff, I was like 3 stars because I only gave above 3 stars to the ones I actually remembered.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, none have been terrible. Oh, The Richest Man in Babylon. That's a good book. That was one of the few that rated 5 stars for me, financial wise. It was very good, very interesting. So I suggest you'll read that. It's about getting out of debt and building wealth for yourself out of whatever you're making, no matter how small it is. So, super interesting. I liked it a lot.
You better put that one into practice.
I'm working on it. That's why I'm reading these.
Okay. Well, I'm reading the 2 books that I'm currently reading are I think it's called Revision and Self-Editing, which is like a writing craft book. And then I'm also reading How to Be an Anti-Racist.
That one's good.
And yeah, both of those, like, I can't read too much at a time. Otherwise, my eyes start glazing because it's so much information.
How to Be an Anti-Racist has so many. It's just very what's the word I'm looking for? Not textbookish, just lots of big words and very philosophical. And when you read the title, I always read How to Be an Antichrist, which always throws me off. But
yeah, no, and I'm glad that I have that book on Kindle, because at first I was gonna wait and just like get it from Libby with the audiobook, but I'm glad I just went ahead and got it on Kindle because I've been highlighting so many things. And so, yeah, but the fun book that I'm hoping to start next is The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware, which is a thriller. And all I know is the book starts out with, at the very beginning, the main character is writing to this like lawyer saying, "Hey, help me. I didn't kill this child."
Ooh.
And she's like a nanny.
Interesting.
So.
What time period is that?
2017.
Oh, okay. Modern day.
Yeah.
Interesting. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Is it like a mystery thriller? Did you say that?
Yes, I
did. Did I completely zone out? I'm sorry.
You did.
I apologize.
But Ruth Ware is a very good, like, mystery thriller.
Is that on Libby?
Author. Yeah.
I might have to read that.
Yeah.
I love mystery thrillers. I don't like listening to them back to back or anything, but one every couple of months is really good.
Yeah. I was looking and I haven't read a thriller in like 3 months, which kind of like, I feel kind of sad.
Yeah. We had a kick there for a little bit. The Silent Patient. And
well, that's the first one you listened to. That's the one that
much.
you started getting into thrillers with.
Yeah.
But
and you listen, like, right up against those, you listen to, like, The Girl in the Window.
Woman in the Window.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I don't know all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poisonous Garden?
The Butterfly Garden.
No. I'm talking about mine. There was something about a garden.
Oh, yeah,
it wasn't the Secret
Poison Garden.
I think it was Poison Garden.
Yeah.
That one was good, too.
But yeah, so hopefully I can get back into thrillers.
Yeah.
But that's not why we're here. We're not
It's
here.
a really long discussion.
But we're just reading lots of books.
Which is fun.
Yeah. So the selection. This is going out on the 8th, which is 2 days before my birthday. And so I figured for the week of my birthday, for celebrating sort of, we would read, or I would force you to read the other teenage favorite that I had besides Hunger Games. And that was the Selection series by Kiera Cass. So, what did you think? Did you like these books? And go through them one by one.
Well, I'm not even gonna be able to remember the names.
I'll name them off.
Okay,
but and then tell me like your rating and if you liked that one or not.
Yeah.
So the Selection.
That's the first one.
Uh-huh.
I liked it. Interesting premise and all that jazz. I think I said 4 stars earlier, but I decided to put it at 3 stars. Like it was an interesting story, especially for like, younger teens to teenagers. It's an interesting story, and it was fun. So 3 stars on that one. It was okay.
Okay. The Elite.
3 stars.
3 stars?
It's the same as...
Are they all going to be 3 stars?
The first 3 are.
The first 3 are?
Yeah, the first trilogy.
Okay. Well, then what about the second 2? So we have The Heir.
Yeah. Which is the 4th one?
Yes.
That one was 4. Both of the last ones were 4s. I like them way more than...
Interesting.
They weren't like 5-star material, but they were better than the first trilogy, I thought.
Okay, we're going to have to talk about that.
Yeah, do you not agree?
No.
Get off. Okay.
So, my ratings.
Yeah.
So, the first time I read it, I gave... the first one came out in 2012, which I was a freshman. Mm-hmm. And it was like the end of my freshman year or something. But, so I read all these books all through high school. And I gave all of them 5 stars back then. Yeah. This was one of those that I was just like... Oh, head over heels, like lovey-dovey, like this was the love story I wanted, you know?
Yeah.
So, but now, the Selection, the first one, I gave 4 stars to.
Okay.
I think it's still pretty good start to a story, you know?
Yeah.
Not 5 stars, but I did a decent job of picking a book that I wanted to obsess about.
Yeah.
And then the Elite and the One, I gave 3 stars.
Yeah.
So, still good, but just...
Not as good as the intro.
Yeah. And then The Heir, I gave 2 stars.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And we...
Ridiculous.
We may have to, like, scrap part of our discussion plan to just talk about each book. And then the last one, The Crown, I gave 4 stars to again.
That's a weird jump.
Yeah. But I just thought, like, overall, I thought the very beginning and the very end tied up the story nicely. And, like, I have my reasons for, like, the second trilogy, or duology.
Duology, yeah.
Like, I have very specific reasons for it being a 2 and a 4 star.
I'm gonna need to hear them.
And then but overall, I think if I had to, like, pick one, and I would pick the first trilogy over the duology.
No, the duology was, like, I could have read the duology, because the duology does such a good job of reminding you of sort of telling the story of the first trilogy that I could have read the duology and been far happier than I was reading the trilogy and the duology.
Well, then I'm glad you decided to read the duology.
Yeah, for real.
Because first we were just going to read the first 3.
I'm glad that we decided to add the last 2.
Let's go ahead, before we get into the love and the romance and all the drama.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the caste system and, like, sort of this... It's not really a dystopian world, but it has elements of being, like, a dystopian world, and how it went from being America to Ilia. So, like, what did you think about that?
I thought it was interesting. I wish we got to see more of the caste system, in that we were never told what all... There's only, like, 6, 7 castes?
8.
Well, 8 is, like... 8's are homeless. 7's are, like, servants and, like, people who assist, like, house cleaners. And...
No, that's 6.
What are 7's?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Because she's a 5, that's right. 7's are super, super poor people. 6 are, like, servant level people. 5's are artists, which made no sense to me, because, like, in other societies, in most, like, ancient societies, the artists were very highly appreciated, like Leonardo da Vinci and stuff. Like, they were going to be of an upper caste.
But they were most artists during that time, like, they were never appreciated during their time.
That's valid.
Like, nobody really cared about Vincent van Gogh's work until after he was dead.
Yeah. Still, I thought they were very low on the list to be like the singers, like the pop artists and stuff. Or 5's, and then couldn't tell you what a 4 was.
No, the 4's were like bakers, and, like, they owned shops and restaurants. Okay. No, factories. Factories. That's what it was.
Factories are 4.
3's were, like, teachers, because that's what America was going to be if she didn't win.
Yeah.
She was going to be a teacher.
Okay.
2's are, like, just... You're rich, like, models and, like, stuff like that.
And then 1's worth the royalty.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the only reason she made, like, artists, like, 5's is so that she could have, like, a low caste to, like, come up to.
Yeah.
Like, go from being a 5 to a 1.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason she put it down that
makes
low.
Sense. But my main issue with this system is that doesn't cover everything. Like,
well, I mean, it was
5 or 7 or whatever. Like,
yeah,
that's not all the jobs. What, like, farmers?
I'm sure
maybe those were 7's.
I'm sure.
Or 6? No, 7's.
I don't think it really matters what number. The only number that matters is 5.
Okay, you're right.
And so, like, this world, like, it's sort of dystopian, and, like, you can't have sex before marriage, and, like, you can't have same-sex relationships, and...
You're not allowed to marry outside your caste.
Yeah, I can't marry outside of your caste, and you have these certain jobs you have to do, and they have technology, but only the super rich have it, and stuff like that. Yeah. So, it had elements of it, but it wasn't fleshed out enough for it to really, like if you start thinking about, like, where are all these other jobs? Like, it's gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't meant to be poked at.
I'm sorry. I've been poking at it ever since I read them.
Yeah, because Kiera Cass, I'm sure, like, wanted to have this world, but, like, the main thing she was focusing on was the romance.
Yeah.
And that was, like, all she really cared about. So she assumed her readers, that's all they would care about, too. But it's interesting how, like, America became Ilya because China came and took over America.
Yeah.
Because of all the debt.
The United States of China or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was funny.
And then...
They're like, we're foreclosing on you.
Yeah. Which, I mean, could happen.
Yeah.
You know, in real life. Like, I could easily see Ilya becoming real life, you know?
I just don't think America would allow that.
Well,
They'd be like, no, back off, man.
I can see China coming and, like, attacking us.
Yeah.
Because of the debt that we have, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's valid. What's next? You want to talk about the romance now?
Of course. That's the only thing that matters in this book. Oh.
It's called The Selection.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. What did you think of that? Like, just in and of itself, the selection idea.
Yeah. It is Hunger Games had a baby with The Bachelor. The selection was... So they're all the casts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the girls in the selection were all chosen from their different casts, and also from the regions that they lived in.
Uh-huh.
Which sounds very Hunger Game-esque with the districts, and choosing, because, like, each district, the districts were almost like casts, not like necessarily, but like they were all separated and they didn't see each other. I don't know, that doesn't make sense. Anyways, and then the Bachelor analogy obviously makes sense because it's one dude dating 35 girls. But, like, I don't know. I thought it was interesting.
This has nothing. No, there's no Hunger Games correlation.
There was a hard correlation. Okay. How about this? Her mates are her prep team.
Yeah, but if you look at, like, any royalty story, you have maids. You have guards. You have, like, the ruler, and, like, you have all these different layers.
There was an evil ruler.
Like, that doesn't mean, like, just because it came after the Hunger Games doesn't mean it's the Hunger Games.
Let's see. The lady Sylvia? She was the main designer for Katniss.
No. She was not Effie.
No, not Effie.
Cinna?
Cinna, yes.
No, No!
I'm just grasping at straws now.
Sylvia was the person who helped turn them into proper princesses. But not...
Cinna turned Katniss into...
No, he did his style. Like, all he did was style her.
Yeah.
He didn't teach her etiquette
or
anything like that. She didn't teach her etiquette either.
Okay, I'm grasping.
Yeah.
I still saw correlations, though.
Not just because it came after the Hunger Games doesn't mean
I looked that up. I was like, Kiera Cass, you copycat. But okay, I'll concede the point.
Yeah.
So it was just The Bachelor.
Yeah, it is. But
hints of.
Oh my goodness.
No. Okay. What did you think of the selection?
I enjoy it. Yeah. Like, reading this story just felt like I was watching trashy reality TV. And it reminded me a lot of, like, my emotions, how I felt this past season of The Bachelor, Peter Weber's season. Like,
Peter Weber, what a good lord. Let's not even get started on him. What a dummy.
Yeah, let's not get into that. But just the, like, you want to have this romance, but then, like, so much drama comes in that overshadows the romance, and you're just like, get over it. Just, I want the romance. I don't care about this petty drama.
Yeah.
But then you also enjoy the petty drama because it's entertaining. And so it's just, like, a vicious, like, cycle. And it's just all trashy.
I can only take so much, though. Like, I can only watch one season of The Bachelor, and then I have to take a break of trashy TV. And that's how I felt with this.
Yeah.
Which I was just about done with the trashiness by the end of it.
Yeah, this is one of those that, like, you can't read a lot of stories like this.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, you need something like this. It's like a nice, don't take it seriously palate cleanser.
It is.
That you can just kind of, like,
It's the ginger on the side of your sushi bowl. You're supposed to eat a little bit of it to cleanse your palate.
I thought you were talking about, like, redheads. I was like,
oh.
Again, let's not be downgrading redheads on this podcast.
No, the spicy or whatever it is. I don't even know if it's spicy.
It's not spicy.
Define ginger.
It's like I don't know.
Overpowering.
Yeah. You're not supposed to eat a lot of it. But, yeah.
Yeah.
So, we basically had 2 seasons of The Bachelor. We had The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, which they always go back to back.
Yeah.
So, that was fitting. And so, you enjoyed Edelin's season more than Maxon's.
Way more.
Okay. What were the differences that made you enjoy that one more than Maxon's?
Well, I think the main point was that we got to see the selectors, the royalties' point of view, as they dated, as she dated all the guys, compared to in America's season. We didn't see that.
Yeah.
It was from her point of view, which seemed way less, I don't know how to describe it. It was just, you never had the full story with America's season, because you never saw what he was thinking, you never saw what the other girls were fully thinking. Well, you did see what he was thinking, but she was too stupid to grasp it. Yeah. So I did appreciate that, and I also, just in general, the writing, I thought, in the last 2 books was far better than in the first 3. And I thought she did a much better job of tying up loose ends, and because I know they're all supposed to be one series, but in my brain, it was the first 3, and then it stopped. That was a series that stood alone, and then she added on to it the last 2, and that could be read as a series alone also. So I thought the writing in the last 2 were way better than the first 3. So that's why I liked Edelin's better.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the reason I liked Maxon's better is... But, like... Well, first, with your point of only, like, seeing both sides, like, we still don't get to see the guy's point of view.
Well, yeah. But, like...
So, like, you're still only seeing one side.
Imagine a season of The Bachelorette or Bachelor where you never got an interview, like, when they sit down in a chair and they talk. Imagine a season where you just never got to see what they were thinking about, and you only got to see them just dating on dates, But
in that one, it's like you don't see interviews from the guy's point of view.
I don't care about that.
Oh, you don't? You only care about the lead?
Yeah, and, like, Maxon was the lead of that selection.
Yeah, but he also wasn't our main character.
I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
I enjoyed it more because, like, so, like The Bachelor and Bachelorette, we get to see the behind the scenes of what Maxon doesn't see.
Yeah.
So we got to see the pettiness from Celeste and, like, all those different things, and, like, someone going and being like, hey, Celeste is terrible, and then him being like, whatever, like, just let me do my own thing.
I can't see that. I don't see that.
And so, and then, like, and so you sort of get to understand, like, where the Maxon's head is, but not fully, because, you know, he's dating all these women. But then, and also there were just so many more, like, swoony, like, cute little moments in the first relationship.
Yeah.
That, like, if I'm going to read a romance, even if it, like, even though I enjoy with The Bachelor the trashy drama and stuff like that, like, I still want as much of the romance as possible. Yeah. And so, like, I felt like we got more of that in the first series than we did in the second one. Because Edelyn, for majority of the thing, she's like, I don't want to do this. And just kind of being, like, stuck up and selfish and in her own way. And then, like, she doesn't even break down to, like, have romance till she's already apparently in love.
Yeah, she just wakes up
and then they have, like, 2 dates and they're like, oh, we're getting married now. Like...
Yeah. I thought that was sweet, though!
No!
It was so sweet. Like, that was good.
Like, I mean, that's why I liked So, I gave the Heir 2 stars because of Edelyn. Really? That book of hers, I did not like her as a character. It didn't seem like she was actually America's daughter. Like, I couldn't see America, who's this person who wasn't even certain she wanted the crown and didn't grow up in the crown. And, like, her raising this super snobbish, pompous girl who cared more about her collection of crowns and selfishly keeping this one maid forever than anything else. And it just didn't feel like it was actually America's daughter. It just felt like it was a stereotypical princess who was thrown into the mix. But in the last book, she felt like, because she had more emotions and was allowing herself to, like...
I can tell. Yeah, I agree with that.
She felt more like the daughter of the two that we had learned about in
her
the
character
first
was much more developed and deep. Yeah.
And plus there was actual romance in the last book.
That's sad. There were hints of romance.
Yeah. But like even the dates she went on in the first book, it was there was no romance because she was doing it for the cameras. Yeah. And even though America didn't want to be there, we could see her fall even though she didn't want to fall. And so even though she didn't want the romance, it came for her anyway. Yeah.
That's valid. Yeah. I'm having a hard time, like, separating all, because there's so many. Yeah. So many characters. I'm having a hard time. Man, what was I about to say? In the last two. I guess, no, we should keep to our list and then we can talk about random stuff later. Okay. Sorry.
Okay. Well, you wanted to talk about the elite.
Yes. Celeste.
Just Celeste?
Yeah, because I can't remember any other names.
Wow.
Okay, so the character of Celeste, I thought, was very stupid. No. Listen.
Okay.
She goes from backstabbing people, manipulating them into getting themselves kicked out, trying to literally tear the dress off of America's back so that she could wear it. Putting glass into somebody's shoes so that they get cut up. Yeah. Bleaching somebody's hair in putting bleach in their shampoo. And in one single page, she is forgiven and becomes the mascot for Team Girl. She put broken glass in somebody's shoes. And then she just became everyone's best friend. And she was just like the tough but lovable, I'm gonna protect all the girls type deal. And it was just... Yeah. I hated that so much. She put glass in somebody's shoes. That's not a forgivable offense that easily.
Yeah, but like I can totally see where her character was coming from.
Yeah.
Like, she felt like she needed this because her beauty was only going to take her so far.
Yeah.
And once her beauty faded, she would have nothing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I do think that Kiera Cass tried to make the girl-on-girl hate way more intense and dramatic than it needed to be, just for the sake of having drama.
Yeah.
And instead of, like, having all these different girls do things because it's a crazy situation, she just all put it on one girl.
Yeah.
Which, it does make the transition very dramatic. But I still hate that she was just killed off.
Yeah!
Like, I would have loved to have seen her in the next two as one of the people that, like, to fully see the full actual arc of her character going from one to the other. It would have made more sense for it to be that far instead of just, like, a few days and then, oh, now that she's a good person, bang, you're dead.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that if Kiera had, like, if she hadn't included the glass, I wouldn't have batted an eye at her arc of becoming good. Wouldn't have batted an eye. I would have appreciated it because she sucked. And then she was good. That's cool. But yeah, her death at the end was so abrupt. And, like, I didn't even catch it. I mean, I was busy at work when it happened, and I had to scroll back because I had been talking to somebody. And it was one single sentence.
Yeah.
Dude walks up and shoots her in the back of the head, and then it's never mentioned again.
Yeah.
Not in the last two books. Was it even mentioned in the third book after she died?
Yeah. The only time it was mentioned was, like, whenever America, like, all the girls come back for the wedding, I think. And she's like, not everyone's here that should be here. But that's it.
It was just... It was like Kiera was just typing away and she had the idea that there was going to be this rebel attack. And she was just typing. She was like, gotta kill somebody. I don't know.
And we would be the least attached to Celeste because she had just become a decent person.
No, I was more attached to her because of her redemption arc.
Even though she put glass in someone's shoe?
Well, if Kiera hadn't put glass in somebody's shoe, then we wouldn't have this issue. But seriously, I was more attached to her than, like, any of the other girls. None of the other girls mattered.
Yeah.
Who else was there? Can't you remember? The only other girl that in the running that was worth anything, apparently, who Maxim was thinking about?
Chris.
Yeah, Chris. She could have died. Wouldn't have cared about her dying. Because we were never shown why, like... Maxim talked about how much, like, she was his second pick, just in case America didn't work out. All this stuff, but, like, we never really saw that. Like, it was just sort of...
It was sort of understood.
Yeah. Yeah, explained. It was sort of explained why they had this connection, but it was just never seen. From our point of view, we never watched it happen. It was only told by Maxim. So I didn't care about her. She could have died. Wouldn't have cared. But... I thought Celeste's death was completely pointless, and I thought, yeah.
Yeah. I also kind of, like, I thought the two deaths of the king and queen at the end of the first series, I thought that was kind of pointless as well. I felt like she felt like she had to do that because otherwise, how was Maxim going to get to marry America?
Or take over the kingdom and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like... There was no way for them to have their happy ending if his horrible, horrible dad was still in the picture. But, like, he didn't have to kill the mom.
Yeah, the mom was great, adored by everybody, and he just killed them both. And then, again, they weren't mentioned.
Yeah, they weren't.
It was one sentence, king and queen died. Mother, the queen was adored by the entire nation. No one cared.
It's okay, because Maxim and America are in love.
Yeah. So those decisions were shallow, I thought, for Kiera Cass to make. The death of Cecilia and Celeste, and the death of the king and queen.
Yeah.
I didn't care about any of the other people. Any of the other elite. There was Marley. Marley was okay. She
wasn't an elite.
Yeah. She was kicked out.
Yeah.
But she's the only one I could remember the name of. So.
I enjoyed, once it got down to the elite, it felt more like The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Like, because we got to see, like, them, like, even though they like each other, it's still kind of that, like, they have these fun times, but then they're also like, oh, wait, we're dating the same guy. Mm-hmm. And then we also got to see, like, more dates, sort of. And so I appreciated, once it got to the elite part, it was less about, like, this, I don't know. It just focused more on that, what I felt like the story was actually about. Mm-hmm. And stuff. So, yeah. But, the next part, it was a book that was written in 2012. So, of course, it had a love triangle.
Oh, that's another thing. Hunger Games.
Oh my goodness.
Has a love triangle.
Every YA book has a love triangle, Walter.
Confirmed. Conspiracy confirmed. In the first 2.75 books, Aspen was just the worst. I hated him so much. He was so selfish.
Yeah.
That was okay. So Aspen, they're in love, making out hot and heavy in a treehouse.
Yeah.
He breaks up with her because she made him dinner. And his masculinity was injured because he couldn't have provided that same type of dinner to her.
Yeah.
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 Then she goes, this was before the selection even started, before she knew she was going to the selection. Then she goes to the selection. Mm-hmm. And like what? 2 weeks later, Aspen shows up. Like it was like a week or two into the selection.
Yeah.
Super early. And he's in the military. And he's buffer now. And he's trained enough to be assigned to the royal palace as a guard, which would supposedly be the most elite people.
Yeah.
So a full draft, training, steroids, food, buff Aspen, 2 weeks. He's in the castle. That was that made no sense to me at all. Mm-hmm. That was not proper story plotting at all. It should have been like not even 3 months. It should have been more than that. If he's going to the castle,
yeah,
you know, like as a royal guard, you think.
But then how is he gonna be able to be in the love triangle?
That's what I'm saying. The only reason it existed is for the love triangle. Mm-hmm. And then he gets there, and he's like, "Oh, love me instead," and she's like, "I don't know." And it's just she says I don't know like a gajillion times to him. And then so the ending of the love triangle, where the love triangle broke apart, I thought she wrote that very well. Where Aspen was like, you know, I'm following you because that's what I know, and that's like habit. Mm-hmm. And I don't love you. I'm loving you because that's all I know.
Yeah.
Loved that. That was great. Good job to break it up. Mm-hmm. And then like in the last 2 books where he's the general and like an uncle to Edelin and like Maxon, despite the fact that Maxon knows that America was cheating on Maxon with Aspen, he's like crying on Aspen's shoulder.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well done.
Yeah.
Maxon was top tier the entire way through. America sucked until she broke up with Aspen. Aspen sucked until he broke up with America. That's my hot take.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, that was a lot of talking. I apologize.
No, you're good. I want to hear your thoughts. Okay, so this trope that's in YA, like, I don't get it. Like, I've never seen a love triangle actually be good.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, actually be, like, well enough to where you don't have cheating involved, mm-hmm. and you're not just, like, stringing one person or forcing one person to, like, kind of be in this love triangle, you know? Maxon was amazing.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I completely agree with everything you said. Mm-hmm. Like, Maxon, top tier. Like, just all his cute little lines and just him being like so charming.
He was so innocent.
Yes.
Oh, poor guy.
Like, he was just so sweet. And I don't have a crush on him now. But when, like, he's probably the only real character that I actively had a crush on. Huh. Like, I enjoyed Peeta in the Hunger Games, and I thought he was cute, but I just always thought he deserved better, and that he needed to be protected.
He did.
But Maxon, I remember, like, daydreaming about me being America and having Maxon, and, like, just calling him his royal husbandness. Like, that was top tier daydreaming for me. And so, just the whole, like, I liked the part of America not wanting to go on the selection and doing it, like, she signed up for Aspen and for her mom just to make them happy. And then she ends up going. But so she's heartbroken and she's like, hey, I don't want to be here. I'll just be your friend. And then them falling for each other as they become friends. Like, I loved that part of it. So I feel like the love triangle part of it just kind of made America seem really cold at times and really selfish, because she kept saying that she really loved Maxon. Yeah. But yet she would just allow Aspen to just kind of do whatever, and, like, he still, like, sort of owned her. And that was just kind of gross. Like, I remember one quote that Aspen said. It was like, he said something like he felt like they were both in a selection and she was having to pick, but only Maxon didn't know that they were in a selection, which they were. Like, that was very, like, spot on for their thing, which I never love the whole, like, even if they were in love, like, the cheating thing, that's not cute. Like, you're supposed to be, like, even though Maxon is dating 30 other girls at the same time as you, like, that, they're two different things. It doesn't correlate, nope. Yeah. And so and then just having him, like, sit in front of her room and her just hold on to this penny and all this stuff. Yeah. And then
his button that she makes a bracelet out of.
Yeah. Like, like, I know what it's like to have, like, a first love and, like, to hold on to it and stuff like that. And so, like, I'm not shaming her or telling her to, like, get over it, but, like, you don't, if you really want to get over someone, you don't have those things where you can see them all the time. You keep them, but you keep them, like, in a box somewhere that, like, if you're really sad and drunk, you can pull them out and fawn over them.
Yeah, sniff his t-shirt or something.
Yeah, you don't. And so, but I felt like with every love triangle, if they had communicated, like, all three of them, if they had just actually communicated with each other and told them exactly what they were feeling and all this stuff, then it would have gone better. Because, like, right after Aspen is like, hey, I don't think I actually love you anymore, he's like, has Lucy falling all over him and kissing him.
Yeah.
Like, it's
and
like,
they had this thing, like, he knew it was gonna, or he had a crush on Lucy too.
Yeah.
Because he is the one that asked Lucy to be the one sent to America's house when Mr. Singer died. He had a thing for her the entire time.
Yeah.
Or maybe not, but you know.
Yeah, I know.
Long enough to be, while he was still pursuing America, he was also pursuing Lucy.
Yeah.
A loser.
Which I felt like that was just, like, her trying to make everyone have this happy ending. Yeah. And the whole, whenever Maxon spots, like, America, like, really close to Aspen, when, like, she's telling him it's over and stuff like that, like, that made me want to, like, bang my head against a wall. Yeah. Just, like, communicate. Talk to each other.
Yeah, like, she lied to Maxon's face about who Aspen was.
Yeah. But also, like, Maxon wanted, like, you two were going to marry each other.
Yep.
Like, you had literally said, I want to marry you. And so if you want to marry someone, like, yeah, that's going to hurt if you see them, like, being really close and lovey-dovey with someone else. But, like, you don't just be like, okay, not marrying you anymore. Gonna marry this girl.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah. Gross.
But the end of the, last thing I'm going to say about the love triangle, how it ended with, like, the him taking a bullet for her, and then Aspen, like, taking her into the safe room and stuff, and then when Maxon's like, have my heart, like, break it 1,000 times, it was only ever yours to break, and all, I was like, oh.
Yeah. No, I thought she pulled that one out of nowhere. I was terrified of how atrocious the ending of that all was gonna be. But she pulled, the love triangle ending was good. But just remember, folks, cheating arcs are not cute. Don't write them into your stories. Do not normalize them. Stomp that out. Nip it in the bud.
Stop it.
Just cut that out.
It's it.
Dang it. Cut it out. Nailed it. I am Joey? Uncle Joey from Full House? Is that... I think that was his name.
Yeah.
That's me. I idolized that guy, though.
Really?
He was so funny. He was so funny. I wanted to be like him so bad. Anyways.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've kind of talked a little bit about... I think I've said everything I love about Maxon.
Yeah, he was the best. I mean, that's all you need to know. He was great.
He was an excellent lead, and him, like, sacrificing himself for America against his dad, and also the photography, like, just having, like, that, and, like, him chasing little kids and, like, taking pictures of them. Like, he was just spot on. Like,
very
so
cute.
Adorable.
Yeah. Very good.
Which, like, in the, so there's gonna be a selection TV show. Like, they're booting this book series into a TV show.
They are?
Mm-hmm.
When?
I don't know. But Netflix announced it. Gross!
As long as Kiera Cass doesn't have any part of writing it.
But they had already attempted to do this before. And I think it was with the CW. And in that one... Like, it never got past, I think, the script and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But in that one, Maxon was, like, this dog. And just, like, this, like...
Like, as in, like, he acted like a dog of a guy?
Yeah.
Gross.
Like, he was just, like, this gross, like, pompous, like, this air about him. And he, like, wanted things from the girls. Like, how the guy at the beginning, like, says, like, hey...
Do whatever he says.
Yeah, do whatever he wants. And then he's not like that, but in the CW thing, he was like that.
Gross.
And so, like, it just... If you're gonna do anything, like, Maxon is the most important character to keep correct. Because otherwise, what's the point of America fighting for her?
Yeah, what's the end gonna be?
Yeah.
Her, like, crippling him and then rules in his stead? And you're just like, yeah, he got what he deserved.
We don't need another of his father.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
But what did you think about America, specifically?
I liked some parts about her.
Yeah?
Yeah. And then there were other parts.
Explain.
She, over and over and over again... Maxon would sit her down and hold her face and look her in the eyes and be like, I love you. I want to marry you. And then, like, 2 minutes later, she was like, oh, he loves all the other girls. He never loved me. Aspen, come here. Just over and over and over again. That's all it was. Every single time. That's all it was. That was the entire story. And finally, as she finally figured it out, she's like, oh, maybe he does like me. And then they got married. She was so stupid. He told her, word for word, over and over again. I'm not going to marry anybody else because I want to marry you, and if you want to marry me, I'm going to marry you. And she'd be like, okay, I love you too, but I don't know yet. Oh, I don't know if he even loves me.
We have to remember she is 17.
So infuriating. What a dummy.
She's a 17-year-old girl.
Maxim was 17 too, and he had it figured out.
But yeah, I agree. Like, those parts were so frustrating. Those are when I was like, I want to get back to the romance. I don't want this stupid drama. Like, this doesn't need to be here.
Yeah.
But, like, some parts of her I enjoyed. I thought she was a decent lead. Mm-hmm. I think she's a better lead than Edalyn. But, there were parts that, like, I had to remind myself, she's 17. She's 17. She's 17. She's not going to make the same choices I will make at my age right now. And so, yeah. Like, I really enjoyed, like, her name. America Singer. I'm sorry, but that's stupid.
It is. That's so dumb.
Like, you have all these, like, unique, like, names.
Yeah.
And she could have had a unique name that was inspired by America. But, like, to literally be, like, her last name is her profession and what she does. Even though no one else's last names are their professions. And then her name is this dead country.
And then, like, Kiera tried to explain it away by, like, oh, her father was a rebel and he loved America.
Yeah. Even though he was never in America.
Yeah, he was born into
Ilya.
Ilya.
Yeah.
And, like, I want to talk about the rebels.
Yeah?
I want to talk about the rebels here in a minute. Okay, question. This is way off topic. The guy who was the equivalent of Caesar Flickerman.
Yeah.
In Edalyn's season, he stated that he had seen 3 selections.
I know.
How old is this guy? If he was old enough to be the commentator for Edalyn's grandparents' selections, which happened when they were 17, and this guy was old enough to be the commentator then he saw Maxon's.
Yeah.
And then he saw Edalyn's? This guy's to be like 98.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. Like,
that makes no sense.
I appreciated, like, the, like, callback.
Yeah.
But also, like, how is this guy not in a walker? And how is this guy still mentally coherent?
Yeah. Before I knew he was even, like, 3 generations in, I thought it was weird that he was still there for a second generation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could see it. Like, he's, like, maybe he was, like, in his early 30s.
Yeah.
And then now he's, like, because it was 20 years later, so that would be, like, his 50s.
Yeah.
You know? Because
that makes sense.
I remember he was saying, like, he was going to retire, but then they announced the selection, and he decided to stay on until after the selection.
Yeah.
So, like...
But this dude is, like, 80s. So old.
If that. Maybe 100.
That threw me off. Like, I was so old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot was in the actual selections themselves. So, them picking the guys made... And the girls. I mean, the girls made a little bit more sense. But the guy... Like, it made no sense. Mm-hmm. So, if you're having all these people write in... and apply and all this stuff. Like, with The Bachelor and Bachelorette, like, people send in videos and resumes and all this stuff, and then they vet them. Yeah. And they kind of, like, sometimes they, like, are like, hey, like, what is our lead looking for? And, I mean, other times they just pick random guys that look attractive. But, you know, like, they're actually, like, trying to find someone that will end up together by the end of it.
Yeah.
But, like, in the first one, the dad picked them all, and he picked them all very strategically, which
Except for the 5s.
Yeah, which made a little bit more sense. But with Edalyn's, she literally just blindly picked random envelopes out of baskets, and then was like...
Was it like that?
Yeah, and then was like, here's my selection.
I thought it was... Maybe I pictured it differently, or I wasn't paying close enough attention. I thought it was like a bowl. Hunger Games style.
Oh my goodness.
And they had pre-selected the envelopes and just piled them, all the selected guys, into a bowl. And there was just, like, the mystery was her pulling out and describing who they had already selected.
Mm-mm.
No?
Because, like, it was like, so they had filmed earlier her going to all these different baskets that had each Providence in it.
Wow.
And she, like, in one, like, picked up an envelope off the top. And then one, she, like, weighed the 2 envelopes in her hands.
Really?
Yeah. And then at the...
I don't remember this.
Yeah. And so that's how she... Because her dad was like, I'm allowing you to pick them this time. Even though she's not actually picking them. She's just picking random envelopes.
Uh-huh.
And then later on the program that night is when she opens the envelopes up to see, like, who she's actually picked.
Maybe that's what I'm picturing.
Yeah.
Got it.
But, like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, if you're allowing her to pick, like, why don't you, like, vet them?
Vet the one. Like, even, like, you pick them, you peek in the envelopes, and you check them out.
Yeah, because the 2 creepos got in.
A rapey dude? And who was the other guy? How was he creepy?
He just started a fight. He got really jealous and started a fight.
A rapey dude and a Chad.
Yeah.
From whatchamacallit season.
JoJo's season.
From JoJo's season shows up.
But, yeah, like, you can just, like, because he was like, Maxon was like, oh, you probably should have, like, run background checks on all these guys. Like, you should have done that before you brought them into the castle.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's just, if you're going to allow her to pick these, like, go through them, maybe allow her to pick some guys she actually finds attractive.
Yeah.
But also, if she had done that, she wouldn't have put Kyle into the mix.
Yeah.
But
I appreciated Kyle. See, the trope, I mentioned this in the Hunger Games one, the trope where the very first person you see with the lead, that's the love interest. So when Kyle got put in the selection, I was like, oh, well, there it is. Now we know who's winning. And that's what it looked like the entire time.
Yeah. Until Eric. Yeah. Iko.
But Eric pinged me very early. I was like, wait, this guy has, like, he's pretty important. Yeah. Like, he's getting a lot more screen time
than he should be
getting if he was actually that. So I was like, okay, so it's probably going to be this guy now.
Yeah.
Even though, but, like, it was Kyle, though. But Eric.
But, like, I thought Eric and Edalyn were it was very abrupt. Like, it went from 0 to 100 in, like, a page.
I mean...
Because it hinted at, like, her, like, falling for someone, even though she didn't want to, but, like, there was no, like, hints. She didn't start talking to him more, or, like, getting nervous around him until, like, she had to, like, pick a guy.
Yeah. I think it was like that eye contact. Like, it was just the smallest things. Like, when Chad started the fight in the kitchen, Eric was the one that pulled her out and took her to her room, and it said that his hand was always, like, right behind her back, like, protecting her, watching over her. I think it was, like, little stuff like that. I imagined where, like, they were just sharing. When you make eye contact with a person for, like, 2 seconds longer than normal, like we did when we first started liking each other.
Yeah.
Where it was just like. Just slightly prolonged contact, you know? I felt like it was like that. I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, but, like, that was kind of, like, their relationship was, like, Marley and her
valid.
Officer Woodwork.
Yeah.
Like, it was, like, those, like, tiny moments of, like, her sitting in the sun off by what looked like herself and just some guards. And, like, us seeing those, like, little moments that there's probably something there, but, like, she's not our lead, so it makes sense that we're not really getting all the story.
Yeah.
And, like, we know something's there, but we can't tell what it is. But, like, if you're the lead and, like, we're seeing inside her head, sort of, like, it doesn't make sense that this guy would just randomly pop up.
Yeah.
For us, at least.
That makes sense.
Like, it can randomly pop up for, like, everyone else in the story, but, like, for us, we should be able to feel the love grow instead of it just being like, there's this guy, he's cute, he's nice, I love him.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It did seem, you are right, like, when during, like, the parade when she insisted that he be dressed just like the selected, so that he would blend into the group. And like the pictures when he like they pushed him up on stage to take a picture with her, like you hadn't seen anything about them liking each other at all.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's just like setting it up so that they can like each other.
Yeah.
You know, acting like he is a selected when he's not. So.
No.
Yeah.
But
I liked him as a character. I thought he was...
Oh, yeah.
So was... oh, no, I've lost his name. What was this?
Henry.
Henry. Oh, Henry was adorable.
I did.
What a cute dude.
Yeah.
He was a little baker man. And I don't know, you haven't watched Stranger Things. In Stranger Things, I'm sure a lot of y'all have seen it. The guy... Russian? Can't even remember his name. But he's this dude. He doesn't know English. And he's just... the sweetest little guy. He just slurps on Slurpees and he smiles all the time and he's the cutest thing. You know, that's what I thought of with Henry. So, yeah, Henry was cute. I liked Henry,
and I felt really bad for Henry in the end.
Yeah,
because he actually loved her and wanted to do good, but he loved her so much that he could see that she wasn't actually happy. So
he was a stand-up dude, though.
Yeah.
That he registered, like he had it in the bag. He had the proposal, you know, and he registered like the rings that they'd given each other, and just I thought that was good. I thought
it was funny how he basically was like, I may not speak good English, but I'm not stupid. I have eyes. I can see.
What a good dude. I liked him.
Okay, so I guess that's it. Do you have any any last things talk about top moments, least favorite moments?
I have one top moment.
Yeah.
When the girls are all pile into the room.
The safe?
No. The girl room.
The woman's parlor?
Yeah, that one. And then they send a message to Max and they're like, "Hey, we need a camera guy." Or a camera, and he shows up, and they just take his camera and shove it out of the room. Like, get out! I thought that was, I don't know, I laughed out loud. I thought that was super cute. Yeah. I thought that was funny. And we talked about a lot of them. Mm-hmm. Worst moments. How bad is the security in this palace? Because it was literally every other chapter where... The rebels were inside. They were just magically inside. And okay, so the whole rebel arc I was not fleshed out at all. What did they want? Okay, so we figured out at the end what the northern.
Yeah,
I think she mixed it up once. I'm confident that she mixed it up once and said that they were the wrong. Like the northerners were the murderers, and then the southerners were the good people. Maybe wrong on that. Anyways. So we figured out at the end that the Northerners were looking for Ilya's diaries to prove that he designed the caste system because he was a scumbag.
Yeah.
And he sold his daughter into marriage.
Yeah.
Right?
So he could have power.
Yes. Yeah. So that he could have power. What did the Southerners want?
I think they just wanted,
Were they terrorists?
No. I think they just wanted they just were down with the system, have everything burn.
Yeah,
you know, because it wasn't working. You know,
and it was just there was no depth at all. It was just they existed and they broke in, killed a bunch of people, and wrote in blood on the walls, "We are coming." I was like, "Well, you obviously are coming. You were already there. Why'd you show up, kill a bunch of people, and write that to show up later to give everyone a heads up?" And it was just over and over, 7 times in 3 books or more. They were inside, and you had to run.
Yeah.
And that was just the dumbest thing. They had no depth. It was never explained. Mm-hmm. And then the one time when the Northerners broke in, and America runs off into the woods and climbs in a tree.
Yeah.
And she sees the girl with the books. And she tells somebody later, and the guy's like, maybe it was for kindling, because they come from a cold northerner. I'm like, dude, you're standing in the woods! They broke into a not highly secured, but somewhat guarded castle with guns to steal books to burn? but you're standing in woods? That was the dumbest thing. I rolled my eyes so hard. It's like, dude, Kiera Cass, man, what are you doing? That's the stupidest thing. Maybe it's for kindling. But no,
Yeah, I appreciate, like, I enjoyed the rebel attacks because, like, obviously if you're gonna have a dystopian world, like, there's gonna be some unhappy and some fighting. Yeah. But, like, the fact that felt like every other chapter, and it was like you would have the Southerners invade, and then you'd have the Northerners invade, and then the Southerners, and then the Northerners.
They were taking turns.
Yeah, and it just kind of, like, I feel like if they had done the first scene whenever they first attack and they're hitting the windows, and so they're, like, ducking in the corner of that big room, and then, like, one time where she brings the maids down into the basement.
That was a good scene, yeah.
Like, I think if you had just kept those and then the others, you know, maybe, like, if it happens, I don't know. But, like, yeah, I didn't think there needed to be that many attacks. But I did appreciate how the Northern Rebels, how she curtsied, and then they end up being friends.
Yeah, I like that. It was so much. You're right. Like, if you just chopped it down to the first one, the book one, I guess there could have been, like, 3 that we saw, and then, like, the last one where everyone, like, with the big attack, where Celeste shouldn't have died because that was stupid, and I don't know. It was just the entire Rebel arc seemed so pointless to me. Like, if they hadn't existed at all, wouldn't have mattered. Wouldn't have mattered. Like, figure out another way to kill off the king. That's all that was needed. That's all that the rebels brought to the table, is killing the king at the end. Yeah. You know, and there just didn't need to be 8 different times where they were magically past the walls and past all the guards and killing people, and, like, I don't know. It was just... Yeah. That was my least favorite part of the entire series, was just the rebel arc, and it made me cringe at how badly written they were every single time they were brought up.
And I like how they were just magically vanished in the next one. Like, there were people that hated the kingdom, but there were no rebels this time? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Well, maybe she saw people like us complaining about how stupid they were, and they're like, oh, you're right. Yeah. But, like, in the books, like, they would attack, and then they'd be gone. Yeah. You know? Don't know if you killed them all, or they just left. Never showed any dead bodies. Mentioned blood sometimes. Yeah. You never knew anybody that was killed by the people until the very end. Yeah. It was just like, oh, they're in. And then, like, I thought the Lucy thing where she would freak out every time rebels would break in because there was an attempted sexual assault against her by a rebel early on in her days, or something like that.
Some guy had, like, started dragging her away.
Yeah, but something like that. But, like, I don't know. It was just 0 out of 10 on the rebel side. They were so pointless, and they were bad at everything they did. Except for killing the king. That was needed. So, those are my thoughts. I still rated them 3s and 4s, so.
I mean, there's still, like, even though there's, like, all these problems, one, they are written for, like, teenage girls who like me at the beginning, whenever I first read them, like, you're only there for the love and the romance. Like, not that, who really cares about the other stuff?
That's valid.
So, for what they're, like, aimed for, I think they do a really good job of just, like, allowing us some trashy love story. Yeah. Trashy, yet, like, PG love story.
Yeah, it was pretty PG.
And,
Aspen and America weren't PG, though.
Yeah, at the very beginning.
Man, that was hot and heavy on, like, page 2. Good golly.
It was just heavy making out.
Yeah, but still... It was insinuated that they were... It said they went as close to breaking the law as they could. So, like, what does that mean? Yeah. What was happening up there? Yeah.
But, so my top moment out of So, in the first series, my top moment is whenever Maxon takes the bullet for her and, like, says that line, like, so good. Yeah. And then also, whenever, like, they first meet, and she's, like, yelling at him, like, outside.
She knees him in the balls.
Yeah. Like, I enjoyed that.
That was funny.
And then, for the second book, my favorite scene is the cooking date.
Yeah, that
whenever,
was cute.
like, all of them, like, before the fight.
Yeah.
But, like, all of them are, like, cooking, and Henry is just, like, you start to really see,
so
like,
excited.
him really enjoy cooking and stuff like that. And then my least favorite moment of the first series was the canning. So, that's what they called, like, whenever Marley and...
Oh, caning.
Caning, yeah.
Yeah, canning.
Sorry.
Canning vegetables? What are you talking about?
Caning.
Yeah, canning.
And, like, just, like, and then her, like, running and, like, trying to, like, get down there and and then, like, the scars on the hands forever, like...
That sucked.
That was a lot.
It was a lot, but I thought it was good, too, showing that America cared.
No, yeah. I thought it was good, but it was just, like...
difficult.
Yeah. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to see, like, this in depth and just this much struggle and pain and just, like, sadness and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then whenever her dad dies, that was sad. Like, I was like, okay. Like, why couldn't you have made him, like, die in between the two books? Like, allow him to see her walk out.
Man, I bet cash money it was, who was it? I figured it was, like, the king or something. Or,
he died from, like, a heart failure.
It wasn't the king. Like, it was right in the middle of the storyline where the Southern Rebels were attacking family members.
Yeah.
So I figured it was them. But
yeah,
it just wasn't. Why not make it them?
Yeah, I'm surprised that she didn't make it that.
Yeah.
You know? Because then it could have come out later that it was the king, but he was pretending that it was the Southern Rebels and stuff
he was
like
trying
that.
to get America to drop out.
Yeah.
Because she wanted to be with her family.
Yeah.
That one made sense too. Kiera Cass, come on. Missing out on good plot points.
And then in the second one, least favorite scene was probably a lot of the air. Like, just her, like... entitlement. Like, whenever she, like, goes into Kyle's room and is like, ew, why is this dirty? Why don't you let a maid come in here? And he's like, I can clean my own stuff. And then...
make out with me.
And then whenever her maid is like, I don't want to be here forever. And then she's, like, trying to figure out ways to, like, kind of keep her there against her will. And just all these, like, little selfish things that she was, like... trying to be tough and protect herself, even though, like, that's not how someone, like, actually would be. But also, I have to remember, she was 18. She was 18.
18-year-olds. So young.
But yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, so, anything else?
I'm trying to think. So let's end on a good note. That one time where Edelin's twin brother nailed that dude across the face. As pun. He drags Edelin up and he's like, punch him. You need to knock this guy's lights out. Yeah, that was good. I appreciated that. And when she won, he just punched him across the face and knocked him out. That was good. Appreciated. The dude deserved it. Obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Well... I'm sure we talked for a really long time.
That was like an hour and a half.
Probably. But it was 5 books. We were covering
a lot of books.
5 books, which I don't ever want to do this again. Like, next on the 22nd is Escaping Exodus by Nicky Drayden. And just 1 book.
And small, too. It's like thinner.
Well, it's like 300 pages.
Oh, okay. Still.
But still, 1 book. So, yeah, we probably won't have long episodes like this a lot more.
Hopefully
not.
This is a lot.
And I don't think we're planning on doing an actual series
for a long time.
For the rest of the year. Or at least all the books that I have picked out. I don't have any more series.
Cool.
At least all of them. I think one of two is like one book, but yeah. So to end it off, the selection is a decent book. It's not. It's never gonna be like the top book of the year. Yeah. It's not gonna make it into a top 5, but it is gonna make it into. I remember that. That was good.
Good memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus Maxon, he's just great. So, end it off there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get another. Okay, so I have instead of a see you later alligator, I have a very cool piece of information that I learned. Squirrels can survive terminal velocity, which means that the only way they can die from falling is if they starve to death on the way down. I thought that was so cool.
How would they starve to death?
Like if the fall was far enough down that like it took so long that they couldn't find food because they were falling, that they would die from starvation instead. Like because they can survive based off their weight, how fast gravity pulls them to the ground. They survive that.
Weird.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. It's cool.
I prefer those random quotes than those see you later alligators.
Okay. I've been thinking about that one for like 2 weeks, waiting to record this because I wanted to say it. I thought it was so cool.
Okay. So, yeah. Thank you so much for listening or watching, whatever you're doing. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, the next book is Escaping Exodus, and then the first book in August is Upright Women Wanted.
Sarah Gailey.
Yeah. It's by Sarah Gailey, and it is essentially what I know of it. It is a Western about these lone librarians who are also lesbians.
This is such a funny premise.
I'm sure I'm getting it wrong, but I've heard good things about it, and I think we'll enjoy it. So, yeah.
Looking forward to that one.
Yeah. I really don't know how to cut these off, but we're gonna cut it off because
a good way to cut it off?
No. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.
In your future.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, guys.